I want to thank you for tuning into this podcast at barryjones.com. Hopefully this information will offer you some valuable insights about nutrition and how ketogenic food choices can really benefit your health. For those of you who are struggling with weight management, I have found a very successful triad approach, which I call weight loss, ketosis, hypnosis. My website includes plenty of resources, and I will always get back to you with any questions you may have. Let's start with some basic facts. First of all, why do we have obesity? The bottom line is because it's a cash cow. That kind of sounds cynical, but billions and billions are made due to the ill health it causes. Pharmaceutical industry makes out like a bandit, drugs to treat obesity, and then more drugs to treat the comorbidities caused by obesity, and then, of course, even more drugs to help with the side effects that these drugs cause. Sugar industry has its pecker everywhere. It's incredibly difficult to find any food product that has not been impregnated by it. Listen to the 60 Minutes presentation, Is Sugar Toxic? April 2012, and you can find that on YouTube. The fast food industry certainly makes billions by selling unhealthy food, but you cannot find them at fault because it's really the individual choice to eat these foods. You will ultimately find that economics is the prevailing factor. The spin-offs are countless: advertising, insurance, lobbyists, the list goes on. Here are some things to think about before you start any type of lifestyle modification. You should probably consult a healthcare specialist. I'm going to leave that door wide open for you to determine who that might be. For a couple of years, I worked at the University of California, San Francisco, as a personal trainer. UCSF is a cutting-edge medical research school with some brilliant doctors. I had some of these amazing minds as clients, and it was fascinating how little they knew about personal health and nutrition. But that's also not surprising when you consider they received little or no education on the subject. So, what causes weight gain? For some, weight gain can be due to a specific medical condition. Some medications can be a contributing factor. Antidepressants such as Prozac, Zoloft, and Paxil are major weight gain offenders. I've also listed more on my YouTube and Vimeo site that accompany this podcast. But the simple answer is people, generally speaking, do not know how to eat correctly. There is nothing magical why people put weight on. It's a simple science that anybody can understand if individuals take the time to educate themselves. The diet industry is a multi-billion-dollar business, and they want to keep it that way. Introducing yet another supplement or a groundbreaking book that is the holy grail for weight loss. I think most people have experimented with their food choices. I certainly have. As an endurance athlete, I took part in the Hawaii Ironman triathlon. In those days, it was about eating as much as possible, finding out which restaurants had all-you-can-eat buffets and stuffing your face until you could hardly move. Although there was a science behind nutrition and performance, most people jumped on the bandwagon of carbo loading: pasta, and more pasta. At this time, I was lecturing at university in the areas of exercise physiology and health education. Nutrition became a large focus of mine, as taking in the right fuel supposedly would correlate to better racing times and improved recovery. I started to delve deeper and deeper into the subject and began to realize what was suggested by the USDA was motivated by the economics of the food and agricultural industry and not necessarily what was healthy for the individual. I remember listening to an interview with a spokesperson from the food industry, which really says it all. We are not in the business of healthcare. Our business is to make a profit from selling food-like substances. Even the initial food triangle, which was developed in Sweden in the 1970s, was based on economical necessity. So here we have an abundance of food-like substances flooding our markets with little or no nutritional value. Full of chemicals to preserve shelf life, and in many cases specifically engineered to make you more addicted. It sounds like a conspiracy theory, but it's all out in the open. In fact, our society has become so used to contradictions that they become oblivious to really what is happening. It's easy to blame the food industry for the obesity, but what's the point? Sadly, our governments are completely aware of what is happening. They are supported by lobbyists, where the highest paid lobbyist has the loudest voice. The fact is that obesity could be dramatically curtailed just by reducing the influence the sugar industry has on our society. Proven research, scientific information is everywhere, staring you in the face. Become better educated and question why the food industry does not make health a priority. The combination of 22 years of playing rugby and many years of ultra-endurance sports can take a toll on your body. My focus now is to keep inflammation down so that I can exercise. So staying away from inflammatory foods does that for me. But it takes change, and change only occurs because you make it. Like most people, I love sweet things, and I have to say I was a chocoholic. Those long lines stacked with chocolate bars on the way to pay for your groceries or get your petrol were just made for me. I took a serious look at what I was eating and found that ketogenic food choices were the way to go. I have included plenty of follow-up information on this, and of course the internet is a wonderful resource. My suggestion is to stay away from ketogenic supplements. Learn to eat correctly, and you will not need them. When you're eating ketogenic foods, your body is burning fat for energy rather than carbohydrates. So in the process, most people lose excess fat rapidly. I love eating steak, fish, avocados, bacon, nuts, butter. Of course, there are many other goodies you can eat. But we are talking about good quality fat. And if you do not know the difference, now is the time to educate yourself. Make sure you know where your meat is coming from, besides the store, of course. So many meats are full of steroids, so we only get certified organic produce. Do not buy any foods that are processed or low fat. Low fat means chemical additives and typically a change in the molecular structure of the food. Well, the first thing that I did was to dramatically reduce my sugar intake. That is no easy task and takes mindfulness. Practically everything you buy in the supermarket has sugar added to it, and it's a massive cause of inflammation. Of course, the food industry has been very sneaky and now has found about 56 other ways to write sugar on its labels. If you cannot pronounce a word on a food label, it's probably another name for a sweetener, and because it's cheaper to use than sugar and more addictive, we are seeing more and more of these chemical additives. I have stopped eating sugar, but I do like to eat out, and many restaurants add sugar to their foods. Once again, this is about being mindful and researching the restaurant before you eat. I know many people will say that they just don't have the time. You can still make educated decisions. Talk to your waitstaff. If it's a reasonable eatery, they will know about the food preparation. Getting enough fat in your diet can sometimes be a problem, as reaching a true state of ketosis means ingesting 70% of your daily food requirements from fat, 20 to 25% protein, and 5 to 10% carbs. My inflammatory process has reduced dramatically, and I'm able to put more distance in the swimming pool without any additional soreness. If there was a downside for me, I lost weight, which I did not need to do, but with some nutritional tweaks, I'm back to where I want to be. Chris Froome, who was the 4-time winner of the Tour de France, is a huge proponent of ketogenic nutritional programs as well as many world-class athletes. So is this lifestyle of eating for everybody? Well, if you want to reduce weight and inflammation in the body, it is. There are so many healthy reasons to adopt this nutritional lifestyle backed by plenty of medical research. I think it's the most natural way to literally reprogram your metabolism and transition to an upgraded operating system. Adopting a ketogenic lifestyle will enable you to lose weight without exercise, but I am certainly not suggesting you should do this. The emotional and physical benefits of physical activity are paramount in overall well-being. If you do have a problem with mobility, get involved in a yoga or Pilates program, and swimming can be an exceptional stress-free option for the joints. So you have done all your research and have figured out what you can eat, but you are having problems following through. Probably the biggest reason is because you have an addiction not only to sugar, but also chemicals that have been added to the foods to make them taste so good. It's certainly not a secret that the food industry invests millions in research to make their foods more addictive. Sugar is noteworthy as a substance that releases opioids and dopamine and therefore has addictive potential. You have heard hypnosis will help you lose weight. Actually, hypnosis is not a panacea and will only help you stay on track with lifestyle modifications. If you are not prepared to make educated nutritional changes, you are not going to lose weight in a healthy way. Rapid weight loss can be devastating to overall health and can cause havoc in hormonal imbalance, especially in women. With lifestyle changes, hypnosis can have a profound effect on keeping you on track. First of all, educate yourself and be clear of what those changes are going to be. Plan ahead with your food shopping so that you have the right percentage of foods available to eat. Once a routine has become established, things will become easier. Listening to your audio download will help you develop positive patterns. From my experience, a one-to-one session with a hypnotherapist is the most effective way for hypnosis to take hold. Weight gain can be caused by complex emotional and physiological issues. The number of sessions, of course, depend on the individual. But in my experience, most cases are caused by poor lifestyle choices. Hypnotherapy is a powerful self-development tool. It is a complementary therapy that works in conjunction with nutritional guidance. Try this powerful combination. I can guarantee you will not be disappointed. Please do not hesitate to get a hold of me with any questions at www.barryjones.com, where you can also download the Hypnosis for Weight Loss audio.